Hi, I'm Victor, and I like One Piece. And I mean, I really like One Piece. I've been in fandom spaces for like years and years, but I've actually never done a cosplay. I've been wanting to make like a One Piece cosplay for a while, but it's kind of intimidating. I've never cosplayed. I have no experience with cosplays. I do, however, have experience with fursuit making. Last year in October, I went to my first furry convention. It was Eurofurence, and it was really fun. I had a great time. My best friend and I decided to go to Dokumi this year, and I really want to cosplay a One Piece character, specifically my favorite One Piece character, Zoro. And because I had so much fun fursuiting, I thought if I don't want to wear a wig, why not make a fursuit? I don't know how that makes any sense, but it does to me. So maybe I should have done that last. This is Vance. Say hello. He's my persona. Now, maybe you think, wow, that's kinda cool, but also he looks really messy and kind of unprofessional. Fret not. I've never said that. Because this was my first try, and I think you can really tell. I've actually already finished the whole project. I finished, I think 2 days ago, like the whole cosplay, so I can promise you my Zoro fursuit is a lot cleaner than this, and it turned out a lot better. So I started this whole project pretty much directly after going to the con, so September, and my deadline was Dokumi, which is in June, and I'm going to Dokumi next week. So the first thing I did for the whole project was design Zoro's like furry concept. I know a lot of people have done like furry designs of him, but I wanted to make my own ref sheet. I guess you could say he could also be considered a mink. In One Piece there is a furry race, they are called minks. You could say he's just like an AU version where he was born a mink. Or you could just say I furrified him. I honestly don't care. But I really like how his design turned out. Although I just really like tigers. I think they're really cool, and I've really like grown fond of drawing them because of him. This whole project was like a big passion project for me. It was my very first, like I said, my first cosplay, my second fursuit. If you don't know how fursuits are often made, I made him with like a upholstery foam base where you carve the foam into the shape and then put the fur over it. I learned that I hate working with upholstery foam, so for my Zoro suit I decided to buy like a 3D printed base, and it was a lot better. I don't think the issue is like upholstery foam, I think the issue is like me not liking to work with upholstery foam, so I just work a lot better with like 3D printed bases. That's just preference for me. Yeah, I'm excited to show you how I made my very first pretty big cosplay project, fursuit, whatever you want to call it. This is gonna be a really long video, so grab a snack, grab a drink, maybe find something to do while you can play this in the background. I know how it is. So yeah, get ready. I'm making a fursuit in this video. I'm making all his 3 swords, which is like the first time for me making any props, and it was really scary. And I'm also making some other parts, which I'm not gonna spoil yet. Quick disclaimer because I forgot to mention it. This is not a tutorial. Like I said, this is my very first cosplay. I'm gonna link all my resources in the description. My dog's looking at me like I'm crazy, which I guess is fair. I forgot to mention this, but I had green hair for like half a year, so you're gonna see my hair change like a lot. I had to keep re-dyeing it, and then I got bored of it, and just now I'm trying to go back to brown, but you can still kind of see the green, so my hair is gonna change a lot. I filmed this whole video over like 8 months.
It's official. He's lost his mind.
I got a free pen. Yippee. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's my base color. Holy shit, that's really nice. I love that. That's a really good color. Oh, that's really purple. This one's for my friend. This is my stripes color. Could be darker, I think. I wasn't even planning on buying it, but my friend wanted it, and so we decided to share. I'm so excited. This is like my favorite color combo. Purple isn't for Zoro. I'm planning another suit. Oh, that's so much fur. I'm gonna be so honest, I have no space for this. For the paws, I use a pattern. I'm gonna link the pattern down below. I do modify it a bit. I do line it completely, so I drafted up a pattern for the lining. And I also just put the stuffing in between the lining and the fur fabric. Also, the pattern is completely free. The pen you see me using here, it's a water-based pen. Don't be stupid like me. Don't use a pen like this. This pen is water-based, so it's not waterproof, so you cannot wash these paws. It's shaving time. Let's go. The clippers are old human hair clippers from my uncle. I did actually buy pet clippers, which makes a huge difference. So you see me here shaving them, but I did go over it later again and made it a lot cleaner with the actual pet clippers. So don't worry about it if it looks really messy at first. I just turned the claws and stuffed them by hand and then sewed them shut. So that's what you see me doing here in terrible lighting while watching a podcast. Hi, hello. I finished all the paw pads last night. Honestly, I really like how the pink looks with the white and the green. I also finished all of the claws. My treasure. I'm gonna have to sew in the claws by hand because there's so much in there. I wanted them to be really full and I have to sew them in there. And I think I'm gonna do that by hand because I don't know if I can do it by machine. I don't know. I think it's fine. I think I'm gonna do that by hand. And then I also still have to do all the markings, so like the stripes on top of the paws. I think I really like how it looks when I leave like the long fur. Yesterday when I did the claws, in my head I was like, oh yeah, I need 8 of them. And did them in like 2 rows and I was like, oh yeah, 4 plus 3 is 7. And then I had to do 1 extra because apparently I can't count, which honestly nobody's surprised. Also, do you like my mug? I think it's really cool. I like it a lot. It's really impractical. It's kind of difficult to drink out of, but it's my coffee mug and I love it very much. Ooh, my hair looks so bad. I finished all the stripes on one paw, especially in the long fur. It looks really cool with the stripes. I'm a bit worried that darker green isn't dark enough, so like for the paws it's fine. But I'm a bit worried that in the face I won't like it as much if like all the stripes are this light, because I feel like between the light green and the dark there's like a difference, but the contrast isn't that big. But we'll see. I do like these colors a lot. I didn't film anything yesterday when my friend was over because we were just yapping and sewing. Now I just have to do all of that again because I still have to do the other paw. And then I just have the lining left and then I can sew it all together. I mean, it doesn't take me that long, but I still have other things to do. So we'll see. I think it looks really fun though. I mean, this took forever and like these little spots was really annoying to sew, but I think it looks really cool. And also like difference between the 2 greens isn't that big, but I think it looks fun because there's like a very subtle difference. I thought I would record what it's like for me to sew in the stripes. This is how I did basically all the hand sewing, even on the face. It's boring, it's tedious. I enjoy doing it a lot, it's just really boring to film. So this is kind of like one of the only clips I have. And it's also really annoying to sew it like this on a table. I usually just sit at my PC and watch something and sew. And then this is the lining. Like I said, I made my own lining pattern. I don't completely attach it to the paws. I hand sew the fingertips to the inside of the fingers. Later on, I attach the edge of the lining to the edge of the paws, and that keeps them in place. It's enough. That went really well. I feel like it's kind of risky to basically cut like no seam allowance. If I sew this close to the line, like no seam allowance inside the paws, and I really like that, but it makes sewing it a bit scary because I have so little space. I need to be like perfect on the line, but also no trimming of seam allowances. Now, how do I do the claws? See, this is the scary part because I'm scared that I'm either gonna sew like the lining to the edge or that I sew like the claw into the edges. We don't want that. Oh, come on, come on, come on. A bit more. Ooh. Okay, I think this is fine. Oh, oh, oh. Oh no. Look, I'm aware that I shouldn't be doing it this way, but I can't see it if I do it the other way, so I'm doing it like this, okay? Oh no, I'm not even hitting the fabric. After sewing the paws shut, they are one big piece with the lining on the outside. Just turned them inside out. No, wait, I turned them outside out, I guess. Can be pretty sturdy with them. I make sure that all my seams are like really strong. And then I start stuffing it, and I just try to get it to a good point where I like how they fit and how they look. And I try to really squish the stuffing into the fingers, because once I close the seam, I'm not going to be able to access the stuffing, so I make sure it's really in there. And then yeah, once I'm happy with how the stuffing is and I close the opening seam, I go over the shaving again. I trim it all down and make it look really clean. Helps a lot with them looking clean and nice.
You sure you're gonna be okay out there? A swordsman without his swords is just, well... What? A normal guy, only lamer. Huh?
Okay, unboxing time. My dog got really scared when I walked in with this package, and I think he did a stress fart because it stinks. I bought a head for my friend too, so there's gonna be 2 in here. I've seen 3D printed heads when I was at Euroferns, but I've never held one in my hands. Can you see anything? Does it look good? This one's for my friend. That's really cute. I really like the smile. That's so cute. Eye blanks for that one. I don't have eye blanks for my head because I don't think blanks fit in that head, but it's fine because one of the eyes is gonna be this scar anyway. Oh, he's so big. Oh shit, he's so big. Great vision. I'm gonna be able to see so much. It's gonna be great. I really like the shape. He looks kind of angry, but also kind of happy, which I think is a very good expression for Zoro. So much breathing space, that's crazy. I'm gonna be able to breathe. Ventilation in vents is fine, but it definitely could be better. I have a confession, and it's that when I finished up Zoro's paws, I realized that I've run out of lining material. I have this much left. yeah, that's not gonna be enough. I ordered some more, and I ordered some really cool ones. I think that's lycra, but I ordered jersey. See me. I ordered jersey. It's gonna have some really cute print on it, but it hasn't even been shipped yet, so I can't start lining him. But I need to figure out how to secure him, like, to my head. I think what you're supposed to do is attach, like, elastic band to the head, and then it, like, holds around your head. The thing is, with Vans, who has, like, a upholstery foam base, I like this kind of noise cancelling, because I really struggle with, like, noise sensitivity. So when I'm first sitting with him, like at a con, it really helps me that I can't hear very well, because it like cancels out all the loud noise, but I can still talk to people because I can still hear pretty like okay, but like not as much as I would without it. I'm thinking I might just like close the head with foam. I don't know, put foam here so that there's foam over my ears, so that's kind of noise cancelling for me, which maybe is a bit crazy, but I just think for me personally that would be really great. Oh, that's scary. Oh. Come here. Come here, come on. Okay. You're being replaced by plastic. How does it feel? He doesn't care. He's a very scared dog, but he's not scared of my other fursuit. I don't know why. Like, he's totally fine with it. But this is very scary. Hello? I think he's just being dramatic for no reason. Hund? Are you okay? I swear, it's fine. I finished the paws. Looks nice. Completely lined. This seam, you know, could be better, but I think it's fine. You can see a little bit of a seam. Whoa, okay. I don't know. I feel like the stripes aren't that noticeable. And you can't really tell how much time I spent hand sewing all these stripes in. But can you tell that it's tiger stripes? I'm not sure. But maybe my expectations for paws are just, I don't know, not too high, but like I feel like they're kind of boring. But like it's just paws. They're not supposed to be super exciting. They're literally just paws. There's a lot of like tiny fur pieces coming out of them. I can see them floating around. Honestly, they're really comfy. I put a lot of stuffing into the fingers, so my fingers are like really snug in there. And like with the lining, they're really comfy. I really like them. They're kind of slippery. I've added some ears and some side. So if you can see, they're kind of not attached very well. Really like a lot of just like fabric pieces. Make sure that this is like really stable and secure. Also did all the padding. Yeah, and also you can see my hair started rubbing off on the foam, so there's a bit green. Whoopsie. I didn't really like how low his like lower jaw is, so I added some foam in there so that when I add the tongue and teeth, you'll actually be able to see them. I know it all looks really shit, but it's gonna be covered anyway. Also, his eye. I think this is a big improvement to the overall shape of him. Like I said earlier, I bought new fabric for the lining, Halloween lining fabric. So I bought this really fun bat lining. I think it's jersey. And then I made the pattern for the lining. I just taped up the head from the inside. Yeah, and then I just sewed all of the lighting pieces together. I did this all in like one evening, so sorry for the really terrible lighting, because by this point it was like night. And also I didn't film any of it because I was just locked in, okay? It's called hyperfocus. I was locked in. So yeah, then I just glued it in. I think the inside turned out really clean. I don't really have a lot to say about this. I just glued it in with hot glue. The lining is always a bit difficult to make. I pull the lining around all the edges, glue it around the edge of the mouth and out of the eyes, because I know that the fur is gonna go over there anyways, so I know all these ugly edges are gonna be covered. I wasn't really sure how to pattern the back of the head. I do have a mannequin head, but it's not at all my head size, so I just taped a bit of foam on top of it and then held my fursuit base to it and traced around it and made a pattern out of that. Since the fabric is stretch, I knew it wouldn't matter that much, because if it's a bit too tight it can just stretch, and if it's a bit too big it won't matter. It worked really well. I'm actually really surprised. I felt really smart while I was doing it. Looking back, it's not that smart, but I was feeling really smart when I did it. After putting in the lining, the hat was wearable, but I didn't think the lining would be enough to just hold it up, and I didn't want any seams to rip, so I put in some extra elastic bands just to make sure that there's not too much tension on the lining fabric. So yeah, here's a quick look inside the head. I think it looks really clean. No one's ever gonna see this. Also, I kind of ruined it later on because I glued the eyes just over that, but it's all fine, and it's just my suit. For anyone familiar with cosplay but not familiar with fursuit making, just know fursuit makers also pattern everything with duct tape. I think it's like by far the easiest method, and I really like doing it, and it's just so good. That's why we all do it. It's just so good, you know? I'm out of duct tape. Basically, most of the head is done. I just need more to do the neck.
Zoro got stuck in a chimney.
Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My dog's staring at me. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Okay, I went to the hardware store and bought some off-brand 50-meter duct tape. I used this for Vance, my other suit too, and it worked really well. The original duct tape, I think 14 euros for like 10 meters, and this costs 10 for 50 meters. And apparently I need like bought a new one for my last suit, and I ran out, and it was 50 meters. That's insane. That's so much. I also bought a seam ripper. I do have a seam ripper. I have just no idea where I put it, so I bought a new one. I wanted to buy Sharpies. And I was running through the entire like hardware store looking for Sharpies. Didn't want to ask one of the like people that work there, because I was like, what if it's really stupid to assume that hardware stores sell Sharpies? And also they saw me run around the store looking for something, and if I then asked them for Sharpies, they would know that I was looking for Sharpies. And if they don't sell Sharpies, or if I like walk past it 5 times, that would be really embarrassing. So I just didn't buy any. I went to the pet store because I needed some stuff for my dog. And when I was at the checkout, I was standing right next to the like dog tags because you can buy dog tags there and then they engrave them for you. And I realized that I'm wearing one, and then I was really embarrassed. I mean, I bought like stuff for my dog and I was like, what if they think it's for me? I don't know, I was a bit embarrassed. And the woman also looked at me really, like, she was like... And then I also went to the thrift store because I wanted to look for some clothes I can wear for Zoro because I feel like a lot of his outfits are really basic. So I was looking just for some basic t-shirts, but I didn't find anything. Come here. Nenos. Come. Yeah. Okay. I have a couch in my kitchen, by the way, in case you wonder. What was I saying? So I didn't buy any, like, I didn't find anything for Zoro, and that was why I was there. And then I went to the book section. They have like one shelf for English books. And also recently I figured out that sometimes they have some manga. It's usually like just like 3 or 4, and they're usually like really trashy old romance novels, which I'm like not interested. I once found the first Naruto volume in that store, which I bought. Am I into Naruto? No, I started it and got really bored and stopped it, so don't sue me, okay? I'm a One Piece fan. And then, okay, this is kind of, I don't know if it's niche, but for me that was kind of crazy. If you get me, you get me. I went in there to buy like stuff for my cosplay, and I walked out with 6 manga and nothing else. And I paid like 3 euros because manga is like 50 cents. This is the crazy one. Okay, are you ready? I bought that Nana. It's like 10, 11, and 13. I don't own any Nana manga, by the way, and also they're in German. But I watched Nana like 2 years ago and I was really into it and I really liked it. Okay, bye. And I got really upset when I found out that the anime never got finished, and also the anime stops at a really bad point, and I was really upset when I finished it. Then I considered reading the manga, but when I watched the anime, the manga was basically, you could only buy it like secondhand, and it was really expensive, like all the volumes, really expensive. Maybe it was like 3 years ago, honestly, I don't remember. And then I found out that the manga also never got finished, so I decided, I don't know, I just dropped it and like never read the manga. But the volumes that were out already started being printed again because they stopped being printed, which was why they were so expensive for a while. And then I considered starting to like collect the manga, but that by then I hadn't been in the fandom for like a year and it had been like a while, so I just, I don't know, never bought any of the manga. But I bought these for like €1.50. I don't know, even if I don't read them, it's just fun for me to have. I've been collecting manga for a while, but like that doesn't mean I know anything. Oh my god. What is that? Oh, it's fan art. Never mind. I didn't make fun of it. I take that back. And then, okay, the other stuff was kind of really random because I realized that all the mangas are like 50 cents. So I just bought all of the ones that I thought were like at least slightly interesting. Are you ready? I bought some like really trashy old manga. I don't even know. I don't know what they're about, but like the art style, I think the art style is really, it's really nice. You know, looking at this could be Yuri. I didn't check. I mean, it would be fun, but like just judging from the art style, I'm gonna assume that there is a male love interest. Actually, maybe that's a man. That could be a man. That could be a man, you never know. I mean, if that's a man, then damn. And then I also, okay, this is really random, okay? There was this manga with like wolves on it, and I was like, oh my god, werewolves. And then I started reading like the summary. I don't want to translate it. In the future, and people, like humans, think wolves are like super dangerous and extinct. Oh no, they don't think they're dangerous. Humans think wolves are like extinct, but then there are like humans who can turn into wolves. So basically werewolves. I don't know, it looked goofy, so I bought it. Okay, don't judge me. Oh, look at that. Nice. This is what you get when you pay 50 cents. This style kind of reminds me of Trigun. Ooh, I like that. I saw Rainbow Dash plush, which looked really bold and funny and was also really dirty, so I didn't buy it, obviously. Oh, I wanted to buy some lunch, but it was really expensive. So I'm gonna have some lunch now, and then I'm probably gonna finish taping up the head. Yeah. Okay, so I finished taping up the head. Also, I changed into some comfy clothes because I couldn't be bothered to keep wearing jeans. That seems like a lot of uncomfortableness for no reason. Now we get to the fun part, which is marking all his spots, which we like. I like doing that. It's a lot of fun. I do have Posca pants, but they're really expensive, but I don't think I have an alternative, so I'm gonna use them. I'm regretting taping this whole thing down to the table, but like this way it didn't fall over. I mean, I know that this is the nose, right? I don't know if I'm gonna have to put seams in here. I feel like I'm gonna have to. I don't think I can leave it as one piece. Haha. I waited too long doing this. The sun's going down. Hello. Please don't run out of ink. I literally just said it. Already has eyebrows. Where the hell do I put his eyebrows? Also, his head is not going to be symmetrical. I'm just telling you now, so nobody can say, he isn't symmetrical though. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna make him really asymmetrical on purpose. Just so I don't have to deal with... Wait, what the fuck is my reference? Okay, I'm gonna stop recording now and just, like, sit here until I'm happy with how it's looking, and then I'm gonna show you. Hi, hello. I haven't spoken to you since October. It's almost May. Hi, editing Victor here. I just wanted to say really quick, I'm trying to go back to like my natural all brown hair, and it's not going so well, as you can maybe see. And also my hair's really short right now because I got a haircut really recently. Yeah, I'm sorry. I kind of didn't feel like filming anything. All of sewing the hat was just me sitting here hand sewing. I have a few clips, some progress pictures I took just for myself or to show my friends, but I don't have a lot, so I thought I would update you because I did it a lot. It's been like half a year, so I finished the hat like months ago by now. As you saw from like the patterning, it was really detailed. For like a few weeks I was just sitting here every day for like a few hours hand sewing pieces together, and it was really tedious. For the eye, I know when I unboxed the 3D base, I mentioned that I don't have eye blanks for him. If you don't know what eye blanks are, they are these. The white is plastic, and they're like inside the head, which makes it so that it always looks like he's looking at you. I didn't have any because the maker of that Headbase doesn't make eye blanks for that specific head. But I really like when the eyes are like follow me eyes. So what I ended up doing was I just took some EVA foam and like made my own follow me eyes, and it actually worked really well. And then I painted the eyes onto the mesh. It took me like a few tries because I tried to print it on like the mesh, but that was not working at all, so I just ended up painting it by hand. I think I did it like most with Posca pens, which honestly worked really well. Yeah, I installed that into the head. You saw me finish the lining in one of the videos. I also made some teeth. I bought a pattern from someone off Etsy, so I'm not gonna show a lot of how I made the teeth because I really like the pattern. And I'm just gonna link it. So if you want teeth like that, you can buy the pattern. It was like a few euros. I actually still have his upper jaw because I never used them. I decided against putting them in. When I put these in, he kind of looked like Sonic in the first Sonic live action trailer. It was really uncanny valley, so I didn't use them. If anyone wants some teeth, I have them. The way I did the face was because it was so detailed. I cut all the tiny pieces out and then put them on paper and then left them as complete sheets of papers, because if I cut them out I would never know how they connect again, so I just did it part by part. I did like one cheek and then one eye and then connected them, and then did the other side and then did the sides of the muzzle and then connected it to the nose, so I did it all in like small parts, and then in the end I sewed it all together. And it's all sewn by hand. I don't do faces by machine, I do it all by hand. It has to be very precise, and especially those like tiny details, you cannot do that by machine. You definitely have to do it all by hand. And like even the larger seams, I don't I don't know, I just think if I do it by hand I have a lot more control over it, and also I don't leave myself any seam allowances, because the more seam allowance you leave yourself, the more it's going to be on the inside, because you glue it down to the base of the head. So I don't leave myself any seam allowances, so I have like half a centimeter, and that's not really doable by machine, so I do it all by hand. Then I had this really scary looking tiger head. It kind of looked like I skinned a green tiger, which I guess I did. Yeah, I attached the face. I only glued down the face, and then I made the back of the head and the neck and sewed them on. Then I went around the edge on the bottom and just sewed it shut with like the tiniest stitches, so you can't see them. I bought some like gold stretch jersey for his earrings, but it looked really weird when I did it with the gold, but I ended up deciding that I want to make them out of yellow, which is going to be important later because I actually bought the yellow minky for another project, which I've also already finished, so I'm going to show you in a bit. I mean, with the yellow, the earrings definitely look less like metal, but I mean the whole thing is a fucking fursuit, so I don't think I care. He's a tiger. I think it's fine if his earrings don't look like metal. I think it's fine. I think you get the idea of what they're supposed to be. I used pink minky for his nose and his scar. It's also the same minky I used for his paw pads and his claws, so it all matches, and I think the pink looks really good together. And also his eye is like yellow and pink, which matches with his earring and the other pink tones. So yeah, I think my color palette really works together. I think it's really balanced. I did have some fit issues because I put in some EVA foam into his bottom jaw, and it turned out that was like way too much, and it was really uncomfortable because it was sitting right on my neck, so when I was wearing him he was like right on my neck and it was really uncomfortable. But the lining was already in, but I decided that I would just risk it, so I cut open the lining and cut out some of the EVA foam, and it worked so well. You cannot tell at all because it's all black, and I sewed it in and you cannot tell that I ever opened it, so it's totally fine. I also really wanted him to have exchangeable tongues. The back of his tongue attaches with Velcro. I made 2 different tongues, but I can't find one of them, so I have 2. I just don't know where one of them is. Spoiler warning, I didn't film anything about the swords. So, would you like to see my fursuit? Because he's done. Would you like to see him? Okay. This is him. He is here. He is done. I really love his teeth. I think he looks so cute with his teeth. You can totally take it out. It just attaches with Velcro to the back. Sew 2 pieces together and put some wire in there so it's bendable, and then like put it like this. Like I said, didn't put in his upper teeth because it looks really scary. Yeah, no, it's all open here, and you could see like my cheek when I was wearing him, so I put in some black fabric in here. I really like how he turned out. I think he's really cute. I went over the shaving a lot again to clean it all up, and I went into with my scissors to like sharpen all the edges of the stripes. Is he perfect? No, but I think he's cool. The follow me effect of his eye isn't that strong, but I still think it looks cool. The other thing I made is I made him like a bag so I can just carry him when I go to Dokumi, because it's a long way. I didn't finish any of the inside seams. Don't judge me. It's really ugly. It's like all open and all the seams are fraying like crazy. But it doesn't matter, okay? We just don't care about it. I think it's fine. Why would you even mention that? Also, the zipper is really messy. I did this in like, I think 2 days, and I just didn't care. So this is purely for transportation. The fabric is like a really trashy old tablecloth. I thrifted for like a few euros. I can wear him like a backpack. This is the smart part, okay? I put some clips in, these are the straps, and then I can join them. And we can wear him like this. So yeah, I feel really smart for doing that, okay? It took me some brain power, but I did it. He's free. while I was working on his face, I also got really distracted at some point and just made feet paws for my other suit because I had cold feet and it was winter. Are they practical to wear indoors? Absolutely the fuck not. But I made them in like 3 days, I think. Are they finished? No, I never finished the edge. Beans. As I said, the yellow fabric, I had actually plans for that fabric when I wear him to cons. I don't know what bag to bring with me, so I was like, I could make one. I thought, what would be cooler than make like a little Sanji plushie that I can wear with him? Because I'm definitely not a Zosan shipper, I would never do that. And I was like, what if I make like a little Sanji backpack plushie that I can have his boyfriend with me? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? But yeah, that's what I bought the fabric for. You are not allowed to judge his face. I'm aware that he looks really wonky, okay? He's my son and I birthed him. I know he's ugly. I embroidered the face. Didn't quite turn out how I wanted it to. We live and we learn, I suppose. I like to draw Sanji as like a goat, but I'm not gonna sew a goat, so I made him a fox. Also, really clean zipper. And the inside is like a light blue. But yeah, I made this in like 2 days. He is really small. Can I fit like anything in him? No. But also if I'm wearing him and him, that's so much effort to take him off. He's just gonna be there for the vibe. I used someone else's pattern, so I'm gonna link that too. I'm not big-brained enough to make something like this. Also, if you think it's weird that I like ship to anime men, why the fuck are you watching like a Zoro fursuit video if you think it's cringe, you know? I always forget what it's called. His like waistband thingy. I should know what it's called. I'm stupid. Look, I'm really a fan of One Piece. I'm just stupid. This is what they are called. In my head, I always think that it's like knitted. I always see people make it out of like a piece of fabric and I think that looks cool, but I just think it would be knitted. So I looked up what they are made out of traditionally and a lot of the time they are actually knitted. If I knew what the word was, I would say it. Can I knit? No. Could I teach myself how to knit? Yes. Can my mom knit? Yes. Did I ask her to tell me how to knit? Yes, this is a really weird way of explaining what I did. My mom offered to knit it for me because she knits really well and I know even if she taught me, it would not be as clean as if she just did it herself. So she offered to do it for me and she actually really enjoyed it. Only problem is I don't have it because for some reason my mom took it with her again, so I don't have it here. Just know, when you see the finished project, the thing was made by my mom, okay? For his swords, I found some YouTube tutorials. I have not filmed anything of like making the swords. It's been a process. The swords are definitely by far the most like annoying for me. With fursuits, I like know what I'm doing. I know the process, so I don't really mind doing it even if it takes me months. But with the swords, I was so overwhelmed. It was all so expensive. All the materials were so expensive because I didn't own anything for it. And then I started making the swords and I hated how they were turning out, so I ripped them apart again and I started again. And also I have a dog, so like using contact cement is really annoying because I have to do it like on my balcony and I have to lock him in my bedroom. I started again and I asked my dad if he could do the sanding for me, so he did the sanding for me, but I kind of did a shit job at gluing them, so they looked a bit shit, which was completely my fault because I glued them shit, so when he sanded them there were like holes in them, like tiny holes. I tried to fix that with cosplay foam. I thought you could sand it. You can't sand it, at least not if you use like a tiny bit to fill holes. So the swords ended up being like a bit wobbly. If you see the swords and they are a bit wobbly, I'm just telling you for transparency, but I am a bit insecure about it. I don't really enjoy foam smithing. I think I like the detail work, but I don't really enjoy doing the big parts. Visiting family, and then when I come back I have like 2 or 3 weeks until my deadline. Look, his swords are really cool, I just don't want to make them, I just want to have them. Like I said, I didn't film any of it, I also still haven't finished them. If you want to see how I made them, I can link the tutorials. Also, this is like my very first time doing anything like foam smithing-y. Now I just have to finish the swords and the sheaths for the swords, and then I also have to figure out how to carry them, like how do I attach them to my belt. Also, I don't have a belt, I am going to make one. One other thing, I made like arm sleeves. I just bought some green Jersey in a fabric store, and I made some really simple arm sleeves. They took me like maybe 5 minutes, just because I don't know if I went to poodle. Poodling is when you wear a fursuit but you have like skin showing, so if I wear like the head and paws but you can see my arms, that's poodling. I don't really mind poodling, I just think with him it would look really cool if I wasn't, but also I am the most heat sensitive person ever. I made the arm sleeves, but I don't know if I'm gonna wear them. If it's too hot, I'm gonna wear shorts. If I look accurate to the character, which, given I'm not gonna look accurate to the character, I think we all know that. I don't think that's even an option here, so I don't think it matters if I wear like the perfect outfit. I probably forgot something, but I don't know. I think that's all. I know what I forgot. Oh my god, sorry if the camera angle changed. I got a One Piece tattoo. I got a Zoro and Sanji tattoo. I really like how it connects to my other tattoos. I think it's really cool. Look at them. I just thought I should mention it. So if you see that's in some of the clip, I have a new tattoo. I've been planning this for a while and I finally got it. This is completely unrelated, but a One Piece t-shirt I ordered just arrived. And this is a One Piece video, so I can talk about One Piece if I want to talk about One Piece. You can see so much. Please ignore my work shelf, it's a mess. You are now being held up by the fursuit. Do I cut some of Goldie Roger? I think I will. I'm kind of obsessed with that man. He's just so father, you know. A Goldie Roger shirt. Who doesn't want a Goldie Roger shirt? Not Goldie Roger, Whitebeard. What the fuck am I talking about? I just like Whitebeard, so I bought the Whitebeard shirt. Oh yeah, the other thing I forgot to mention, I bought a standing desk. You might have seen me on my desk standing up, hunched over. So I bought a standing desk, and now my sewing machine lives on my standing desk, and also my fursuit. I do really like this. Cut it like a bit. Maybe I cut it like this. I don't like when the shirts are this long. They should make oversized, cropped shirts. That's perfect. Why am I standing? Also, ignore this. I was trying on some clothes for the wedding. Don't look at this. I definitely could have done a better job with this. It's kind of a mess, but I think it's fine. I'm trying to convince myself that it's okay because I can't redo it because I glued it down. This is probably the worst lighting I could have come up with. Completely finished all 3 swords, so now I just have to make the sheaths. I glued them together. They are very wobbly. Gonna try to even them out by sanding them. The problem is my vacuum broke, so if I make a mess I can't really clean it up. Using this thing hurts my hand so bad. I think the plan is to do the entire sanding outside on my balcony so I could make a mess. Also, I look really bad, okay? Ignore what I look like. I am gonna have to wash all these clothes anyway when I'm finished sanding. So just don't look at me. This one's the wonkiest. I think this one is gonna have the most, like, because it's for this sword, so it's gonna have a lot of details over it. So I'm gonna start with this. I don't wanna do it, I really don't wanna do it. Fine. Whatever. I finished sanding all 3 of the sheath. Sanding was definitely the worst part. I'm now going to add some details, like these paws and also like all the details. And then I can prep them and then I can paint them. And then we're done. I can feel that I'm getting a migraine. That's not gonna stop me. Alright, I finished all the gluing and also sanded down these things. I don't know what they are called. So now I'm gonna use some foam clay. Also, this is completely dry. It looks wet. It is not wet though. Now I can actually see what I'm doing. Nice. This one is Enma. If you know what the sword looks like in the show, I feel like this is way too round. How do people use foam clay? This is a good moment to admit that I've never used foam clay before. Could I be using like sculpting tools? Sure. I'm not gonna get up now. Is this good? I don't know, man. I don't remember what it looked like when I started. So I don't know if it's getting better or worse. Ew. Ugh. I don't know if I'm making it better or worse. My face is so close to my phone. It's like I can do an ASMR if you like. I hate ASMRs. I mean, like, no shade, but like I just don't like it. It kind of freaks me out. I think I need to stop. I don't think I'm even like doing anything now. Just like rubbing the tip. Just stop. These 3, I just took some stripes, sanded them down my Dremel. It's the same as these, but I left them a bit rougher. Maybe the texture will be nice. This is pretty uneven. What, I've already done this one? What the fuck? This one's gonna be so lumpy too. Dark hair. I had this idea for how to attach the swords to my belt, but I had no idea if it would work. I made 3 loops out of EVA foam and attached some elastic to the opening so they could stretch over the wider part of the sword sheaths, and I can attach the whole thing to my belt, and surprisingly this worked incredibly well. I can't believe how like secure it is, and if I want to sit down I can just take the entire belt off. It's painting time, let's go, everyone screams yippee. I used acrylic paints. I definitely should have used spray paints, but shit's expensive and I had acrylic paint, so I just painted them with acrylics. You can definitely see that they are not spray painted. I wish the purple on Enma would have turned out lighter. Purple is my favorite color, and I am kind of sad that it turned out that dark because Enma in the show is definitely lighter than that. But other than that, it worked relatively well. It's not the cleanest paint job ever, but like, whatever. There are some new fursuit paws in the background. I may or may not have started working on my next fursuit already. While working on Zoro swords, I got really frustrated and just made paws for my next suit. So stay tuned for that. Now that I have you here, please tell me, what's your favorite One Piece character? If you haven't watched One Piece, which like first of all, what the fuck are you doing? Watch One Piece, it's incredible. But also tell me what's your favorite show and why. I need to know. My favorite One Piece character is definitely Zoro. I know it's basic, but I love him. He's amazing, okay? I have many thoughts. I have very many thoughts about One Piece. Honestly, I think watching me paint is kind of boring. I might cut more of this out. This is kind of... Why is this so boring? Why did I film this? For the gold details, I used Rub Buff. It's this like gold paint. It looks really good. I painted all the parts black and then went over it with the Rub Buff, but made sure to like not completely cover it, so the gold parts look like kind of rusty and kind of old, and I think it looks really cool. Next up we have a little montage of me pulling off all the tape, because that's really satisfying. And then after that, we're already done and I can show you the finished result. Are you excited? Because I'm very excited. Let's go. Hello, I just finished editing the whole video and I still need an outro, so it's the middle of the night. Yeah, he's done. I'm leaving for Dokumi in like a week, I think. I'm very excited to wear him for the first time out in the world. I hope everyone's nice to me. Overall, I'm really happy with how the entire cosplay turned out. I mean, you know, things could be better. I mean, the swords are definitely my first prop making, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna do it again because, but yeah, I think the first suit definitely like a big quality improvement from my last suit, and it's been like a few months since I finished him, so I'm really excited to get back into it. Like you saw, I already made the part for my next suit. It's nice seeing like all the parts, but then today I put it all on together for the first time. It's so cool. I don't know, I don't really have anything else to say. This was fun, and I'm glad it's done, because it's been 8 or 9 months. Thanks for watching, I guess.